Welcome to episode 125 of In Touch with iOS, a podcast that talks about iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, Apple TV, and related technologies. I'm your host, Dave Ginsburg, and my co-host, Warren Sklar, is here. How you doing, Warren?
Hey, Dave. I'm doing actually pretty well. Recording on a little bit of a different day.
Actually, I kind of like these Sunday recordings.
Yeah, no, it's been a good weekend so far. Friday we both had a exciting day. We'll talk about that. Today my football team won. Had a nice day with the wife yesterday, and tomorrow is going to be a good day for me. So
go Giants!
Yeah. So it's a good weekend. It's been a good weekend.
Yeah, for sure. But it's also been a good weekend because we both have our iPhone 12 Pro Maxes in our hot little hands, and that's going to be a bit of a discussion here. So we'll be talking about that for give our first impressions, and then beta, some more changes with beta, and lots of news and all the other fun stuff. So let's go ahead and get started. I had a couple news stories, not too many this week, but some that kind of stood out here. First one on Mac Rumors was Apple is going to begin issuing monthly credits to Apple TV Plus subscribers through January. This is on Mac Rumors. Apple TV Plus subscribers who have paid for the annual or monthly plan have begun receiving emails from Apple letting them know that they'll be credited $4.99 for each month subscribed through January 2021. The amount will vary depending on pricing in the other countries. I guess Canada is higher, $5.99, and Canada and Australia is $7.99. So based on their dollar. And it'll go right to the Apple ID credit. So it's interesting to see this. I mean, they did that for me when I had switched over to the Apple One bundle, and just gave me a full out credit for my Apple Music. But I did get the notification that I was going to get it for free until February. So what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I was paying monthly. I was still getting it for free, the Apple TV subscription, and everything else I didn't. I just paid monthly for everything. So when I went over to the Apple One, I didn't get any kind of refund or anything. So I'm assuming.
Yeah, because I had the yearly plan with music.
For music, so I didn't get any kind of refund on that. I got the the bundle that we both got, and so I don't know. Technically, I'm paying for the bundle includes Apple TV. I'm technically paying for it in the bundle, and right. I couldn't. If I held out, I would get the free months probably for a few more months. But I still think it's cheaper the way we're doing it now with the bundle.
Oh, for sure.
So
sure,
it's all good.
We talked about the bundle before, so that this was definitely something people are going to have to. Make their decision what's best for them as far as the cost goes.
It's great though with the bundle. I mean,
I agree.
The big bundles, like just not even having to think or worry about anything really with the subscriptions anymore between iCloud storage and everything. It's like it's done. It's just one and done. So it's nice.
Then next story in Mac Rumors, HomePod Minis begun shipping to customers. First orders arrive on November 16th. I just got a notification earlier today that it has shipped, and actually I ordered two of them. The only one of them I got a prompt that I was getting it on the Tuesday or Wednesday. I think the 6th, I believe. Yeah, the 17th I probably get it, or the 18th. I have to look. But
did you order right after the announcement?
I ordered. You could only order. Right, yeah, I pre-ordered the same day. I pre-ordered the iPhone 12 Pro Max. So
right.
I ordered one of each. Yeah, because I ordered one of each color. I got the space gray and the white, and the white's the one that hasn't shipped yet, or the space gray one has. So that's telling me that there might be a little lower stock. I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
No, I was just saying there's an article saying that some people are getting them tomorrow.
Oh wow!
So I'm gonna. There's a
16th. Yeah. But I ordered it right away, but I ordered it after I had to make sure I ordered the iPhone first. So,
right.
So it might have delayed it just a little bit. So, but go ahead.
They're getting good reviews from what I hear.
Yeah, I'm reading a lot of good reviews. I will definitely be giving my review and when it's received, and I'm not going to be. I don't think I'll be disappointed. I mean, being I already have the HomePod, which is great sound as it is anyway. Yeah.
So somebody asked a question actually if there's a way to tie more than two together. the minis. And,
I don't think so. I think they can only be paired. So you have
they can only be paired, but can you, like in a home app?
I think you could play. You could play music from the home app. Like I do that with my Sonos Move and my to my HomePod together. Yeah,
exactly. So I don't play the HomePod and the Sonos. So there should be a way to.
Yeah, I would assume.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I would assume. I haven't heard anything yet as far as that goes, but
I think they pair together as a stereo pair, and I think from there, you could add more. Just because I could do my Sonos and then my stereo paired HomePods too. Right. So
yeah, right. So, and next story, Apple, the iPhone 12 Mini users are reporting lock screen touch sensitivity issues. And this was in Mac Rumors as well. Significant number of new iPhone 12 Mini owners are reporting lock screen sensitivity issues since receiving their phones. There was a forum they've had. A lot of people specifically were saying that the problem manifests for most users when swiping up from the bottom of the lock screen and using their thumb to unlock the device, or when pressing the torch or camera buttons on the lock screen. So interesting to see a bug like that. I believe it doesn't have any consensus yet, other than this is just kind of a report based on that. But so far, I haven't had any problems with my 12 Pro Max. So how about you?
Oh, I think the phone's too small, and people are just missing the screen. I think that's honestly, I think it's probably hard to navigate. It's hard enough for me sometimes to navigate the Mac. So.
Yep. So on the last story, Disney Plus on the Mac Observer has surpassed over 73 million paid subscribers. That's as of October 3rd. The Variety reported this. Around 42.6 million are estimated to be on Apple TV Plus. So that's quite a leap from the 60 million they had the last report. And of course, that helped Disney's stock to go up because obviously people are home during this pandemic and watching lots of Disney movies. And cool, The Mandalorian coming back doesn't exactly hurt either. So, it's a great service. I'm assuming. I think you are a subscriber, right?
No.
Or no, you're not. That's right.
No.
Never mind.
I have a friend in the Mandalorian business. Let's just put it that way. So
gotcha.
And I'm 2 episodes in. I got to watch this week's soon.
Gotcha. So that, but it's a good service. I've been happy with it. I went through with the early plan, so you don't have to see a monthly bill all the time. So, and it's it's a good price. I mean, it's not too terribly bad. So, that's the news I got this week. Let's talk about our new iPhones. Ooh, we both got our new iPhones. Yay. We got our iPhones.
It was so easy.
It was. It was probably the most seamless iPhone purchase there is. I was actually shocked how easy it was to pre-order. I got up. I was up at 6:30 in the morning my time and waited until it came up. And then of course they always say it's almost there. It's almost there. And then it was about 2 or 3 minutes later, it finally came up, and I had already everything preset to go. And because of the trade-in upgrade plan, and it was very easy to get that set up. So it was very easy. Like 4 minutes later, I had it all ordered, ready to go, and we both got ours on Friday. So in fact, my UPS shipment, I always worry because our UPS driver usually doesn't show up here till like 6 or 7 at night. The guy actually showed up at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And I told you we were going to record the show, and then we ended up recording here on Sunday because we wanted to have have a few days using the phone. So, but I have another story I'll be telling in just a second about when I went through getting it all restored. But overall, I'm happy with it. Why don't you go ahead and start off? What are you liking so far in comparison to the 11 Pro Max?
Just real quick on my ordering story. It went pretty well too when I pre-ordered. I made the mistake of changing the payment method after I went through the screens because I had to add a gift card that I had, and I had to add to my account. So then things got a little messy for about 10 minutes where I get errors and I started to panic, and finally it went through. Luckily, I wanted the silver phone, and I think I had a better shot of getting what I wanted. And I decided to have it get it picked up at the store since I work about 10 minutes away from an Apple store. Went there. There was a bunch of people there. It was kind of neat. Waiting to get their phone and
maintain that 6 feet.
Got my phone and walked out. Yeah, maintain 6 feet. So I came back and So I'll tie on to your. I'll tell you my backup and restore story after you because it ties in a little bit.
Very good. So we'll have that topic in just a minute. So far, it was quite an ordeal.
Yeah. So, but the first impressions of the phone for me is a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier, but not too bad.
Not bad.
I like the shape of it. I like the feel of it. I like the look of it. I bought a leather Apple case for it and a couple of Amazon cases. The 2 Amazon cases I don't like that much. The leather case is really nice compared to the previous phones. Screen protector on it, and everything's all restored, and it's doing its job. So I'm happy with it. Good pictures. The 5G I had some issue with the other day, which I'll say real briefly. My wife and I were traveling around, and we went to the next town over, and I'm on the setting I put on there is the 5G when available, when needed, the middle setting. So you could pick always 5G, always LTE, and then one in the middle is like let the iPhone figure it out. So should be set to let the iPhone figure it out, like pretty much to save battery. It's supposed to know when you don't need the 5G. So I was there. It said I was on 5G, and I'm not getting any data at all. I can't do anything. So I'm like, what's going on? So I'm rebooting. I'm turning off cellular. I'm turning back on cellular. Nothing. So finally, I'm like, all right, let me switch down to LTE, and LTE was fine, perfect. I switched back to 5G, and it's still nothing. And only until after I got out of that town that it worked. So I'm also on that beta, so I'm not sure if that's a beta problem, but the phone should know if you're not getting service, to figure something out and drop you back to LTE if needed. So
where was that setting that we go into to look at the 5G setting? Do you remember?
So if you go under settings, cellular data options.
There it is, roaming off. So voice and
off.
data right now I'm set to 5G auto.
That's what the default is. So 5G auto basically says if you're not needing the 5G, if we don't see that you're trying to download a lot of stuff, we'll figure it out for you. So even with that on or the 5G on, I wasn't getting service until I manually picked the LTE. And in real life, it should kind of figure out that I didn't have LTE.
So did you put it on 5G? You put it on 5G on or 5G auto?
5G auto. It's on 5G auto.
Okay, so that's right.
So I would understand if I forced 5G and 5G network had a problem, but in any case, it's good to know. So basically, if you're going somewhere and it says 5G and you don't have any data, look at that setting, put it to LTE and see if it works, and then it might just be the area that you're in.
Because I've been doing I did some speed tests. I was out and about this afternoon. And I was able to get about 150 to 180 down, which is pretty incredible for cellular.
I was getting about 125 here and there.
Yeah.
I also posted a couple of screenshots too. There's a couple of speed test apps on the phone, and one is fast.com and one's speedtest.com. And
I do speed tests. Yeah.
So I noticed that if you do speed test, my speed was, in 100 something. If I did fast.com, it was like 20 or 30. So at the same spot. So others have said that fast.com uses Netflix servers, and T-Mobile may throttle that. So maybe that's why you're seeing different speeds between fast.com and speedtest.com on your mobile device. So the lesson here is don't use fast.com if you don't want to be sad.
Yeah, for sure. Because I'm doing the speed test now at home, and I'm getting about 89, 90, which is still not bad compared to the LTE speeds. I would probably get about 30 normally at home here. I only have 3 bars, but speeds are pretty impressive on the 5G. I must say, of course, buyer beware. It's going to really depend on where what area you are in, and if there are 5G towers nearby for where you are. So you should be aware that that's something that will take an account, factoring that into as well.
Yep. Have you noticed any improvement in overall service, even where it was normally just LTE? I've heard some people saying that, and that's kind of what I was hoping for, more or less, that it would improve with some of the dead spots out there. So
I can definitely notice some improved speeds, and it's definitely something that I'm happy with that. So you definitely can notice that as far as that goes. The camera itself, I hadn't have a lot of time to take pictures. I don't know did you take any pictures? I did a couple comparison pictures between so I'll still have my 11 until I haven't gotten in my trade-in box yet. So that's coming this week coming up. So
I went to the dog park yesterday, and I took some videos and pictures of that. And it, I mean, they look good. So did the 11 Pro Max. They look pretty good too. So it's, I don't have the eye for it. I couldn't tell you the difference, to be honest with you, but, and I also, since I have the beta, I played with the raw photo, and I still can't figure out why I would do that either. So,
right.
But I think photo people like it because you could pretty much, it's basically like a photo with it's basically a picture with every digital signature that you could possibly have it with no filtering. So you could play with your own filtering on that stuff.
Yeah, I never I never shot raw even on my DSLR. So I mean,
I guess if you want to if you're into that kind of stuff, the camera's great. The slow motion I played with, which was really cool. But it has 2.5x zoom instead of 2. Right. That's another difference I saw.
It's a bigger lens.
Yep. So I played with that.
Yeah,
too.
I saw that. I was like, "Whoa, that got even closer." Because I had I had both phones next to each other when I was taking them. Like, oh wow, that's pretty impressive. So, it is slightly bigger than the 11 Pro. I mean, for those watching on the video here, you could see it's a slight big difference in the size between the 11 and the 12. But other than that, of course, the rounded edges, I got a case on here ready here, the rounded edges versus the square off edges now. But overall, I've been pretty pleased with it. I mean, the OLED display is you could definitely tell the difference there. I mean, looking at the displays, I mean, it's hard to show on screen here, but I definitely can see some really good quality images on this as well. So I'm very impressed. Very impressed of what Apple's done with this device. And it was a good choice. I think as always we like getting our upgrades.
And we both like the big phones. I know a lot of people were into the Mini, and I hear
the thing. A lot of people complaining about it. That it's too big. It's too big.
It's not.
It's not that. I mean, you really, other than this is a 6.7, that's a 6.5. You really, I mean, I'm feeling them both in my hands here, and I don't see a ton of difference in the weight at all.
We must have big pockets, I guess, because everybody complains about pockets. Yeah. I have big pockets. I know I do.
Yeah. So no, I'm pretty pleased with it, and it
seems snappier, a little bit faster than the 11 Pro Max.
Definitely feel the process and all that. So, but I mean, it doesn't come without a caveat of issues when it came to me doing a restore. So, I wanted to, when you do you have two options to restore from your old phone to your new phone. Is
3.
What's third? The two I tried was iCloud and then iTunes, and I tried iCloud to restore. It failed, so it can't restore. I tried device to device. It's that takes a long time. That's about an hour 45 minutes to take. It didn't like that either. So then the third option I tried was iMazing. I used, if anybody's not familiar with the app iMazing, I did the full backup of the old phone on iMazing, tried to restore it there. Didn't work. So that just tells me there's obviously some corruption somewhere as far as the backup goes. So I gave up and decided just to sign in with the iCloud account, which the good thing is with the iCloud account, when you sign in without doing any restoring, is you got your, the important stuff like all your iMessages, your contacts, your calendar, some settings, not a lot. Unfortunately, I had to repair my my Apple Watch because that backup was part of that restore. So my next task is to get my Apple Watch retweaked the way I had it before. So it was kind of a bummer. I mean, I really wanted to be able to restore it, but I thought of it this way too. This was a good excuse not to dump a lot of apps I had on my phone that I don't need anymore, because I must have had like 300 plus apps on there. So I just started, what I did was, I think was the easiest way to do it, was just you could do like an airdrop link to each app that you have. You just share app, and then I would just share it to the new phone, then download, share it and download. So then I have to go through and have to look through the list and manually go to the app store, search for it. And so that at least sped up the process a little bit, but you got to reconfigure all your email accounts manually. That takes time. And so it was a good 3 hours to finally get it in a spot where I was happy, that it's set up in a way. But then I went to Jersey Mike's to get a sandwich, and then I forgot the app was on there as I like going there. And so I had to go download that. So there's a few apps I just kind of think, you know what, I'm never going to use that. I'll just download them when I need them, type of thing. So
I have to ask you, my first question is, since you had the old phone, why didn't you hook that up to your computer and do a backup from there and then restore?
I did. It wouldn't restore either. So something's not right on this iPhone 11. It's corrupt or something.
That's disconcerting.
I tried one direct, over the air, iCloud, iMazing, and iTunes. So I did I tried it 4 times. Now we go, and then the next step is, okay, I gave up. So I just did what I just described with the manual setup. And now I was like, you know what? All right, I'm done. I'm going to go out to iCloud. I want to delete the backup that's out there, because it's like 5, 6, 7 gigabytes. So I'm like, get rid of it. Won't delete. I mean, really, what is going on here? So wow. I kept trying. So I finally I decided to call Apple support, and I said, guys, what's going on with this thing? So I'm on the phone with this gal, and I knew as soon as I heard her. I mean, nothing personal against her, but you can tell that they're just for level 1 support, and they're not going to. Right. They're going to be just fielding all the the dumb questions, which you and I both being IT guys, you know how he is. When we call it support, we have to say, all right, we'll let you know I'm an IT guy, so I'm a little higher level here. And then he's still
the first 20 minutes were just, they're going to say, I'm going to have you do this. And then
I did it.
You don't even say I did it. You just say, okay, I'm doing it now, when you're really not, okay. Doing that. Okay.
Exactly.
Yep. So yeah.
Exactly. So got on the phone with the gal, nice gal. She was fine, and Apple support for the most part is responsive. So she's doing research, she's looking up stuff, and then she was like, well, I think we're gonna have to go into the Apple store. I'm like, I really don't feel comfortable going to the App Store. This doesn't make sense. What are they gonna do? I mean, this has nothing to do with my new device. I'm just trying to delete that backup off of my iCloud. So she comes back in a little bit and then says to me, oh, I see what's the problem is now. I found out by talking to one of the engineers, the fact that apparently it put a hold on the backup. So it has to sit for 48 hours before it can be deleted. So there's some sort of hold that was put onto it. I don't know, maybe because of some security or what the deal was. But I mean, because I went to the Mac and tried to delete it, couldn't do it. Went to the 12 Pro Max to try to delete it, couldn't delete it. 11, even tried to delete it from my iPad. It just would not delete, because you can go into iCloud, of course, and you can select whatever other devices you have, and if you wanted to delete those backups out of iCloud, you should be able to do it, and just let it run a new backup. And that was what I wanted to do in the first place. So it didn't work. So lesson learned. I mean, the problem is, you're doing beta, so you're always restoring your device all the time. So you're like a master at it. So, so what was your ordeal with restoring it to your new iPhone?
Not really an ordeal, but I knew I'd be picking up the phone on the way to work, and I knew I'd be going to work straight from there. And I know the Wi-Fi where I work is not so great. So I'm like, all right, so how am I going to do this? So I decided I was going to take a full iCloud backup at home. I took a full They don't call it iTunes backup anymore because there's no iTunes. I think they call it
Finder backup, whatever it is. Yeah, whatever it is. Because it's in Finder now.
It's a Finder backup. So I did the Finder. Yeah. So I encrypted the backup. So it keeps all my personal health data and things like that. And then, it's funny because we have these 256 gig phones and I keep all my photos on the phone. So the backup takes like forever because it's actually an iCloud backup doesn't back up your photos because that's part of the iCloud photo backup. It's different. So, but a Finder backup does. So the Finder backup, becomes to be like 150, 160 gigs because it's taking the photos. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do it that way, because the photos on my phone, it takes almost 2 or 3 days for it to fully sync up after I do a restore from the cloud. So anyways, that's what I did. Got the phone, restored it, waited till it was all good before I wiped the other phone to send it to my seller or buyer of the old phone, which I did. Took about an hour and a half. The thing with the photos is it still had even though it iCloud's crazy when all the pictures are on the phone. Mm-hmm. Technically, it still has to go through its whole it has to pretend it's uploading back to the cloud when it's not. So it still goes through a 2 or 3 day like upload process, but the pictures are technically on the phone. And that was it. I did lose, for some reason, I lost my Bluetooth, my pair of Bluetooth devices. That's happened to me once.
I did too.
Not a big deal. Usually I could just repair everything there. But other than that, everything came over fine. I went through something that you kind of went through with a beta not that long ago when I was in North Carolina. I played with a beta, and I made it so my iCloud backup was not usable, and I didn't have a backup. So I did a full, what you did not that long ago. And I remember at that point, I'm like, you know what? I'm done trying to customize my home screen at this point. So I started, I pretty much did it at that point, the trick where you hide all the other screens. So I have like 1 or 2 pages of widgets and icons that I use all the time, widget and apps that I use all the time. And then I use the app library page for everything else. So it's been, it's just muscle memory. You just get used to it, right. And it's fine. So
yep, that's how I'm doing it. I'm maintaining just 2 pages and everything else is hidden. And then,
that's exactly
just go to the app library when I need to get to an app I don't use all the time.
Yeah. So
I think that works out well.
I'm pretty smooth. So I'm pretty happy.
Smoother than me.
I had to wipe my Boot Camp partition off my MacBook Air because I didn't have enough room for the backup without doing that. Yeah. And my Mac Pro Max is in the shop getting a scratch on the screen fixed.
Oh, that's right. I remember you told me about that.
Yeah, which is another whole story because I brought it in there Wednesday and the status page still says it's awaiting shipment to the repair center. So I've been trying to get a hold of them. Yeah, they said they have it, so I don't know. And then so I just have my Air now. But yeah, no, it's cooking along.
Yeah, we'll talk about we'll talk about the one more thing event here in a little bit. But yeah, no, it's good. I'm glad glad it worked for you, and I was happy to see that it was a good thing. So, and the cases, there's so many cases out there.
Yeah, I was just going to say we have to build up our case collection again. So.
Yeah, I got so far. I had the spec, and I hate it. It's the Presario series, which is supposed to be the more durable case that. So when you drop it, it's got the resistance up to 13 feet and all that. But problem is, I have that iHome clock radio stand that does wireless charging. So the case made it too thick enough that it won't charge on the base. I'm like, oh god. So I go to my Scoshi. I have the Scoshi, the charger, but I hate that it lays flat because if I want to look at the phone, I could just tap it at my bedside, and that's what was great about this clock radio phone. The clock charger, I guess you should call it. It's not really a radio, but So I decided to I went to 2 different cheap cases on Amazon. This was the first one here. If you see that there, that's just a simple. That's what I have on here right now. That's this simple. I like the clear because I like to see the color. So I'm a little worried though. This is kind of flimsy. And we'll put links to the cases. If you've got links, I appreciate you put there of the cases that you bought.
I can link them, but I don't like them, so I won't link them.
Yeah, I'm not going to leave a link that here. This was the other one I got. This is it, but it's got the black edge to it. But it's actually not bad. Both these cases were not terribly expensive, so I may keep both of those. But the spec one's going back. I mean, that was a $40 one, and I'm frustrating that happened. So I got those 2 cases. I had the Apple one. I put it on. I was like, why am I spending $50 on this case? And I know it sucks because it's so flimsy. Oh yeah, big deal. It's got the MagSafe the MagSafe charging ring on it. But I mean, I can just use the MagSafe on its own without that case, and it'll still work with most cases. I did order the MagSafe the charging cable that's coming with the Mini. I wanted to try it, so but that's coming. So but that's good. That's what I'm going to keep. Those I just got those 2 cases earlier today, and the spec one I had. I mean, I had a spec on the 11 Pro Max, and I actually was happy with that, and it worked fine charging. That was the deal breaker for me. I don't want to. I really like that clock wireless charging stand for my home, so I want to keep it. Yeah. So
I use a long lightning cable in bed because it's just easier. I like one of my Amazon cases was a clear one. I've had the Apple clear one on the 11 Pro Max. I bought that one. I bought so many clear cases, and I don't like any of them. I can't. There's something about it that I don't like. I don't like the smudges on them, and I don't like the way they feel. And I wish I did. So if anybody out there, if you like any of the clear cases you like, let me know, because I'm still trying to find one that. Yeah, I want one that's kind of doesn't feel so plasticky.
Yeah, it is plasticky, but I don't know this edge. I may start liking this. I mean, it is. You got the black with the clear, but at least you can still see the color. That's why I like the clears, so you can see the color of it as I drop it on the ground here.
It's just a case. You're okay.
It's just a case. I'm safe. At least it is that and not the phone. So it was. I'm so glad that I got the phone. I'm happy with it and stuff. And we can even talk about the box. We can even talk about the box. This box is pretty.
Well, wait, before you do that,
all right.
Before you do that, when you put on the Apple case with the thing on it, I don't know if you've seen this, but if you put your phone in the Apple leather case, it makes a little circle.
Oh yeah, I saw that because it did that with the other case too. But I thought the MagSafe charger will work with any case. It doesn't have to be that case, does it?
It doesn't. I think the Apple cases are magnetized as well, so it sticks better to it. That's what I heard.
Maybe I should hold on to that case and just see, because that case. The only thing I don't like about that other case is it doesn't have the protection at the bottom here. You know, at the Apple cases, it's missing. That piece they don't cover.
Well, so that's weird that you say that, because the older leather cases and silicone cases didn't have the bottom either.
Yeah.
For Apple, but this year the leather case, for some reason, the leather case has the bottom protected. Yeah. So I don't know what changed.
I have it all packed up, ready to return, but I could.
You're going to take it.
I mean, so as you you can see it here. It doesn't have the covering, right? You know,
right. Well, the leather case used to be the leather case used to be the same, but they changed it. Now they swapped it, so now they have it.
Maybe I would consider the leather case. I don't know. Yeah, so that's the MagSafe. So you got the.
But you know what? I kind of like it without the bottom, and I'll tell you why. Because it's if you ever need to take the case off, you could do it with the lightning connector there, and they also do it because some docks don't like the bottom covered like that, like not wireless charging, but with a connector. But definitely suggest a leather case, and I think they're actually going on sale at Best Buy soon. So take a look at that.
The Apple ones.
Yeah, from what I heard, they had a sale already on on the wallets. You could get which I have no interest in, but you have to get the Snap-on wallet.
Well, I got $150 of gift cards to spend, so I might buy some things. I bought all this stuff was bought before I got that, so because I was anxious. So
they have to make something good for the Mac Sleeve.
You've now that I've got all 3 cases here. I had some free ones that I got earlier at the beginning of the year from CES when I was there, and you've after me seeing your collection of cases from year 11, you've kind of like gotten me a little in the case.
I love changing. I change my watch bands and my cases all the time.
Bands I do.
I'll tell you one thing, that the braided loop thing that I got is slowly my favorite band at this point. It's
just
super comfortable.
It's tough.
The Apple stuff is expensive, but they make good stuff. I mean, the leather case for the phone and the strap is just incredibly nice.
It is.
So I'll keep it. But yes, I will build up my case collection. And the person I sold my old phone to got probably, if you add it all up, it's, I probably spent almost as much on the phone as I did the cases at that point, because I got a lot of them. They're going to come out with the Surface Pad case, which is really a nice thing too. And I forget, it's 12 South makes it. Yep. And basically it's a Surface Pad that it's kind of like a folio. So the one thing I'm curious about with our phones is the iPhone 11 Pro Max, and before the 10 had the iPad-like feature where if you with the folio cases, it would turn the screen off and lock it, close it like an iPad. But since now they don't make that kind of case anymore, I wonder if they got rid of that feature. Very
possible. So we'll definitely have links in the show notes of the cases we talked about. I'll even put the spec in there. You can buy your beware. You can take a look at it. The spec, I don't see any bad things about it. Oh yeah, in the spec case also there was something, the volume button up was really hard to push. So that was another deal breaker because it was not working really well. It worked, but you had to really push it. So there's obviously some flaw in that plastic. It wasn't doing that. But we'll put links in the show notes for that, and if you can put the cases you've got so far, and we can go from there. So
do that now.
I'm thinking that's all we got as far as the 11. The iPhone will definitely be doing more reviews, especially they'll have it a little longer, and you'll find out more about the camera and what kind of great pictures were taken. And I also have a screenshot of what error I was getting when I was trying to delete the backup in the show notes too. So we'll take a look at that. So then I moved beta towards at the next topic here. In beta this week, they of course announced iOS 14.3 beta 1. And of course, I knew you would automatically put it on your brand new iPhone 12 Pro Max. So
I had to think about it for a couple of minutes before I did it, though. It wasn't quite automatic.
Yeah. So there was a quick thought before you did it, though.
Yes, it wasn't. Well, first of all, when it came out, I couldn't do it because I knew. Well, let me back up. When it first came out, I wasn't going to put the beta on there before I picked up the new phone. The beta came out on Thursday, and there was no way I was going to update my phone to the beta, knowing that the new phone would come with a version of iOS that would not accept the restore.
Yeah.
So I didn't do that, only to find out that my phone, I don't know, yours probably too, but it came with 14.1 and
14.1, yeah. Yep.
So I had to do, so I couldn't even do the restore. First, I had to set it up as a new phone. Then I had to go into software update, and I had to update it to 14.2. Then I had to reset it and go from there. And I mentioned something about that in the Mac to the Future group, and I'm like, if I was not technical and
right,
that's an issue, right? I mean, that's a kind of an issue that they should not have put out 14.2 until all the phones were at least released, and maybe, I don't know, maybe putting there shouldn't be an issue where somebody takes back a phone, tries to do a restore, and it gives you an error message saying you can't restore it because your operating system's too old. So that was a bummer. But
yeah, because I did it too. I mean, I actually did the upgrade to it automatically did it before you even could start the restore process, as far as I remember when I tried it. And
no, not not at all for me. No, it went
okay,
to,
well, I ended up erasing the phone and starting over a bunch of times during my restore ordeal as it was anyway.
yeah.
So.
No, it says you cannot restore it because you have a newer your backup is newer than the version of this phone. So,
Okay.
But I've seen that before, obviously. So I would have put the beta on earlier if I knew I would have to just do it anyways. But
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, the beta went on. The day it came out was that the crazy day with the server. So it came out. And then they pulled it.
That's right. 14.3 got pulled for a day because there was problems.
Yeah, well, it wasn't. So I'm not sure if it was pulled for the day or half a day.
Or hours. Because I went and looked at my developer account, and there was it said no betas available.
Right. So I went there too, and then I'm like, I'm not going to do it until they released again. And we're not going to get into the whole thing with the servers going down. But long story short is, I was able to re-download. I was able to download Big Sur when everybody else was having a problem because I found a post that if you use your VPN to make it think that you're in Australia, you were able to download Big Sur. So I went to the developer webpage to download. You could click on beta and then you could click on release software. You click on release and there it was. Big Sur. I started downloading from there. But on the beta page in Australia, the 14.3 betas were out there. So I'm like, I'm here anyways in Australia. I might as well download the betas from that page. So I did it then. No difference. The only thing is, that weird 5G thing I had, maybe it could be related to beta. So, that might be a thing to look out for because that wasn't fun. But I don't see much else.
Well, you just mentioned it earlier. Now it's going to be adding the Pro RAW support, so you can do RAW,
right.
computational photography in RAW format. It's just a basic turning it on. You got that, and there's also another search engine called Ecosia, but the search engine that plants trees when people conduct searches. Okay,
okay,
is now can be set as a default search engine along with the Google, the DuckDuckGo, Yahoo, and Bing. I'm like, okay, that's exciting. I might just look at that just to see, just out of curiosity. And then it also included an icon that seemingly unveiled the design of the AirPods Studio, along with code supporting third-party item trackers, which is potentially the AirTags we've still been waiting for. And then that was in the Bluetooth devices under the Find My app. And then Apple mentioned this feature in June when iOS 14 was unveiled, but it seemed that we could be seeing third-party devices that are going to be able to be tracked via Find My, which is great. If you have a third-party devices, if you could do that, interesting. Apple is really starting to open up this stuff. You go with the default mail, default browsers, default search engines. So that's good to see. And
scared of antitrust, but
yeah, I think they are, and that is really what I'm thinking. So, also, iOS 13.3 included a pregnancy data in the health app, a third-party app suggestions.
I missed that one. Yeah.
Third-party app suggestions at the setup in certain countries. Support for scanning app clips, QR codes with the camera app, and an option to update HomeKit products from within the Home app, which is a beautiful thing because you get tired of having to download 5 different apps to cover the different devices that you have.
That would be good. Yep.
So it looks like that. And we've got a link to show notes in Mac from Mac Rumors that I'm reading a lot of this stuff off, and they've got a link in there as far as that goes. It looks like also in weather, the air quality health recommendations are provided at specific air quality levels in the U.S., UK, Germany, India, Mexico. Air quality data provided by Breezometer. So we got that. And of course, references the Fitness Plus, which you're still waiting for that to come out. I would assume that's going to be coming sooner or later here. So there's quite a bit of updates that they added. It'll be interesting to see how long it takes. It stays in beta. I would venture to say probably maybe 2 or 3 beta versions before they release it out in the wild. Because I know photographers are itching to get the Pro RAW. Probably to start trying that out. You already got the Dolby Vision with video, and the video quality is just incredible too. And all these videographers are really impressed with this. I mean, this just be just a replacement device. What do you need any other camera anymore? It really is just pretty incredible where we've gone with this, with what they've done with this. So pretty impressive. So, have you noticed anything else as far as the device goes? It's pretty much the same though. Otherwise, right?
Yeah, no, I haven't seen anything different. It works, which is great. I was a little worried about that, but I'm happy it works. And the bit is good. Performance seems about the same to me too. So it's all good.
So and then I just mentioned earlier the HomePod Mini was shipping this week. I'm going to have 2 coming, and we'll definitely get a review, see how they work. Remember, I have the 2 HomePods already, and they can't be paired with the HomePod Mini, so we're going to put it in a different room and see how it goes. I may not keep both HomePods. I ended up ordering 2 just on a whim because I knew it was going to be hard to buy one because of availability. So I wanted to see how that would be here. So I was going to check to see what the availability is now for the HomePods. But I think it's probably going to move out to end of December. I bet at this point.
What's so weird is it still doesn't have its own category on the Mac store.
It's pushing out to close to Christmas time now. So maybe I might want to put it up for sale someplace, and people might be really interested to get one. I might be able to mark it up.
I'm trying to get my son an Xbox One. It's impossible, or the Xbox, whatever it is,
and the PlayStation 5 too.
He doesn't. He just wants the Xbox. Both of them are hard to get, but I can't even get close to finding one. So it's gonna be sad. So if you order a black one, it delivers December 16th through the 23rd.
Getting close to Christmas time now.
And then the white one comes a little bit faster, December 2nd to the 9th. So
the white isn't as hot. I wonder why the space gray shipped before my white one. Interesting.
No, don't know.
So and then we just want to wrap things up this week. We're gonna get into Mac this week because it was a really fun announcement. A lot of great discussion, and I know you're excited because you got your MacBook Air M1 processor coming. So all the announcements. So they had 3 Macs that came out. You had the Mac Mini, you had the MacBook Pro, and the MacBook Air, both 13-inch size screens. You went with the Air, right?
I went with the second base model Air, the little bit the one with the bigger hard drive. So yeah, which was 5 gig drive. There was the same M1, but instead of the 7-core GPU, it has an 8-core GPU, whatever that means. We'll find out. And but everything else was the same. So I got the Air, that one. And it was if I go on Apple's website to tell me when it's coming, it says arrives Wednesday, November 18th. But then if I click on it and then I go track shipment, it brings me to UPS, which says arriving by 9:00 on Monday the 16th. So that's tomorrow. And I'm going to go with UPS's word on this one because I
would too.
And and basically at as of 11:15, it was in Anchorage, Alaska, not that long ago.
Made it through customs already.
It made it through customs at 9:51 a.m. today. So so hopefully by tomorrow night I'll have it. Yeah, it's exciting. Looking forward to it.
It's definitely going to be interesting to see where things go on the level of iOS because of apps. I'm definitely now these once everybody gets these computers in their hands, it's going to be interesting to see how app developers do a cross-platform iOS and Mac OS with their apps, and it'd be interesting to see where that goes.
I want to see what it looks like, iOS app. I mean, I guess I'll see it soon. What an iOS app looks like on the Mac.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely want to get your review of it. I opted not to get one, at least at this time. I may in the future. We'll see. I do have an old Mac. I do have a 2018 Mac Mini. I could easily trade in, and they're offering $330 for it. So I could have just got another Mac Mini, just the low end model, and been fine with it. But I'm gonna wait, see what others say about it, and see where it goes. One interesting thing is GarageBand. GarageBand is there's an iOS app for it, and I use GarageBand on my Mac when I edit this podcast. So there was a new release of it, 14.0 0.1 or something like that. I think that's the version. And it's currently saying, okay, it's only compatible to Big Sur. I'm not upgrading to Big Sur just yet on my production MacBook Pro. But I just read today that they said, Apple said that no, it is supposed to be compatible to Catalina. There's something wrong with the app delivering. They must have the code of that it's saying that it has to be Big Sur. So that should get released soon. But they did a mass update across the board on all the Apple apps. Pages, Keynote, Final Cut Pro is updated to all be inefficiencies for apps for Apple Silicon. So we'll see where that translates over in the iOS apps for those particular apps.
They keep saying every day something else gets ported over. Microsoft's Office was in beta to be compatible with it, but then I heard it's not actually. It's compatible on the Rosetta layer, but it's not. It's still not native to it, is what I'm hearing. But we'll see. Then other people are saying that the first time you open up a non-native Apple Silicon app, it takes a couple seconds, like 20 seconds to open it the first time. So, we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's all everybody's out there making these speculations on.
For sure.
Is it going to be fast? Is the memory issue, is that too little? I mean, how Rosetta's going to handle it.
It's going to be interesting. It's definitely to see, and I'm definitely interested to see how the cross-platform apps go, because we live in our iOS devices, and if you're going to be able to use an app that's almost exactly the same experience on your Mac, it's going to be pretty cool.
Yep, for sure. And we talked about it before, but there's at least 5 apps I could think of off the top of my head that would be useful to be in front of me on my computer. When I'm in front of it, that's
which one?
One, the Facebook app, I think, because I like seeing the notifications on Facebook. I'm there all the time. So if I had like a little app, maybe like a widgety app of Facebook that showed me the Facebook app, that would be neat. I think Kelly mentioned it too, and I agree on Chuck's show, home automation stuff, because a lot of that stuff is not on. It's even a lot of it you can't do on a PC at all. You can't control it even through web interfaces. It doesn't do it. You need the app. So that would be cool to do those kind of things. And then, something like I play some like the Words with Friends game here and there on my phone. And if I'm looking on there, why not? If I'm sitting there. So, I mean, and I also mentioned this once before, but it could also be a good stopgap, because there's a lot of things available for iOS that's not available, that may not work on a new Mac or is not optimized. And, hey, maybe you could, if like Office didn't work on a new Mac for whatever reason, you could probably get by using, I would like to see what the Office Word on iOS, the iOS version of Word on the Mac. Maybe it's usable. Who knows? We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll see. It's going to be interesting. Definitely going to be interesting. So, all right, let's go ahead and wrap things up. We'll definitely be talking more about our iPhone 12 Pro Maxes as the weeks progress, and you'll hear more about that and lots more things. It's going to just keep going, and we got the Christmas holidays coming up here. More gifts to buy for ourselves as well as our loved ones, and when they want them, because as like you said, our wives probably could care less about some of the stuff we want, but
I try.
I do too. We both do. So let's go ahead and wrap things up here. That's a wrap for this week. Please send your comments, questions, and suggestions to our email address, feedback@intouchwithios.com. You can follow us on Twitter @intouchwithios. You can also subscribe in your favorite podcatcher, including Apple Podcasts and many others. But better yet, go to our website intouchwithios.com, where all the links to all the ways to listen to us are there. I am Dave Ginsburg, and you can find me on Twitter @DaveG65. Warren, thanks for being here as always. Anything going on exciting at the Mac to the Future group this week?
Very active week, obviously.
It seems like there's a lot of posts.
Well, a lot of people posting pictures of their new stuff,
including me. And you.
I mean, basically, when the phones get come out, everybody posts the same picture, and it's like, fun. Go ahead, knock yourself out, right?
My post, actually, I just took right as I opened the box, I had the back of the phone. That's a picture I took, and I had a lot of comments on it. I was like very surprised.
Yeah, I mean, I took the picture of me in the Apple Store picking my phone out, looking at the bag. So, I mean, we all know what they look like. Nobody has to. I mean, nobody has to post pictures of their phone. It's fun, but we do know what it looks like. And just people asking questions. Obviously, with Big Sur being released, people asking a lot of questions about that. Which is good. People, wanting to do it. Obviously, with the issue that that the Apple had on Wednesday, everybody was coming in saying, "I can't download Big Sur." We know nobody can. We know. Not you.
We know.
Yes, we know.
Yeah,
but if you want to come join us,
one quick story about that. I forgot about that. I fire up my Mac right after we had a power outage in my house. It was a planned power outage. That, of course, they delayed it a day. Didn't bother to tell us that. So I come back and I'm like, neither one of my Macs are working. I'm like, what the heck's going on here? I'm doing Tech Tool Pro. I'm doing the disk utility. I go into recovery partition. I'm thinking the machine's like hosed. And then it comes back, and then I see Dave Hamilton's post on Twitter that it's happened to him too. I'm like, wait a minute. So now it was that big server. We won't get into that, but it was.
When I saw my son, I was on my Mac and I started to notice a problem with it, and my son starts screaming and say, "Dad, my Mac's not working." I knew that's too much of a coincidence.
Too coincidental.
So I'm like, and I posted. I think I was one of the first people. I was one. I didn't see anybody else posted before I posted something. I said my son's Mac and my Mac are not working. Something's going on outside there. So,
come join us. Come join us. The Mac to the Future group with a lot of 3,000 plus members. Want to come see you, and we have a lot of fun talking about this stuff. And I can't thank you enough for listening, and thank you for being here, Warren, and we appreciate it, and we'll talk to you again soon.